Hello, fellow Star Wars fans, and welcome to the channel. It's time to talk about some Star Wars comics here on the Starrapter YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Every week I break down the latest in the Star Wars comics and more. And this week I'm catching up on the Dark Horse comics that I didn't get a chance to get my hands on because of some warehouse issues. And those are both from Dark Horse, Echoes of Fear issue number 3, and Dispatches from the Occlusion Zone issue number 2. And I also have a brand new comic this week, and that is the Battle of Jakku, Republic Under Siege, issue 4, finishing off that miniseries. So let's catch up on things we left off. So getting into Echoes of Fear issue number 3, we have the appearance of Vitus, or Cohmac Vitus, who is he left the Jedi Order. Now he's coming back to help his old Padawan Reath Silas, as well as Amadeo, and they're on the trail of finding these Echo Stones, which will be the key to stopping the Nameless and maybe even the Blight. So they get into it. They find out more in the archives of the Jedi Temple about these different Pathfinders and this Master Atticus Kale, who is indeed an Amadeo, and as well as a Pantoran Jedi Padawan named Jadia Brink, and they end up on this planet. It's really a flashback story of what happened with the Echo Stone on this planet they were on. This planet was torn apart basically from two factions of people fighting over the power and what to do with this stone. And as soon as these people got there, the Padawan and the Master, they're able to sort of dispel all the violence and able to, look and see what's going on with this thing. Lo and behold, this Echo Stone is encased in, it looks like a giant kyber crystal, and the Master there ends up trying to get it out by using a saber, causes a bunch of chaos, and the whole place collapses. And they thought that the Echo Stone was maybe destroyed. And you fast forward back to Amadeo and Reath Silas, and they realize, oh my gosh, the Echo Stone might actually still be intact. That is our one final chance to get an Echo Stone, which are basically what the Rod of Ages are, which control the thing. So that is what's going to happen in this story. But yes, it's good to see some Pathfinders back in action again from Phase 2 of the High Republic. It is cool seeing the Jedi stopping a civil war, right? This is the stuff that Jedi should be doing at this point in time. And by the way, the planet is called Verovia. All right, so getting into the next one, we have Dispatches from the Occlusion Zone, issue number 2. Oh, by the way, Echoes of Fear was written by George Mann, with Vincenzo Federici and Giorgio Sipasto as far as the artists are concerned. So for Dispatches from the Occlusion Zone, this one's called Beyond Reach, written of course by Alyssa Wong, with artwork by Valeria Favocia, sorry. This one is all about Rue. It's all about the character of Driggit. So as we know, the backstory for this one is we have these EX droids that are getting through the Occlusion Zone with messages from the Jedi Order and the Republic, landing, and the last one that happened, that launched, was taken by Nile, and that was Driggit. So she's talking to the warden there on Eriadu, where this one takes place, saying she could crack the code. But we all know she's secretly working for the Republic because she wants to just be free of the Nile. But then you have characters like Crash Wong, who is sending in Rue, who is this disturbed Jedi Padawan that has dark tendencies to him, shall we say, to go and retrieve this thing. He goes undercover as a Nile Jedi and starts wiping out Nile. He comes face to face with Driggit, who, by the way, they've had meetings before in the Star Wars Insider story, Chronicles of Corellia. They were first meeting, and so they have some backstory there. So it's really neat because by the end of this, they are able to come terms with what's going on, and we actually have Driggit who contacts the Chancellor saying, hey, we are ready on this side to fight. So that leads into what will eventually happen, which is the Battle of Eriadu, which is imminent at this point. So we're seeing the current start to go into their favor of what's going on here. It was cool getting a reference to the Frander's hidden outpost, getting an actual panel depicting what happened in that short story in the Star Wars Insider. So I love that kind of synergy when we're going ahead with that. We also have the concurrent events with what's going on with High Republic Adventures, because the Warden does mention he's going to Valo, which he now is basically at in that point of the story. So we have a lot going on there. So really cool stuff between both those High Republic adventure stories. Really getting close to the end here, guys. We finished Tempest Breaker. We have basically 3 stories, middle Ages book, not Middle Ages, a middle reader book. We also have a young adult novel and the final Trials of the Jedi novel by Charles Soule to finish out that run. Speaking of finishing out that run, we have now finished another miniseries, the second miniseries in the max series of 3 miniseries, which is the Battle of Jakku. This one is specifically Republic Under Siege, issue number 4. Final Fury, of course, written by Alex Segura, as all of them have been, but we have a different artist, Stefano Raffaella. And in this one, we have a big meeting between Admiral Akbar, first appearance after the Battle of Endor, I believe, with Mon Mothma, Luke Skywalker, Leia, Lando. They're all mobilizing because we have big problems in the Republic. Even though the Emperor and Darth Vader are destroyed, there is the Imperial Remnant that is already quickly forming to be a big problem for the New Republic, which is a fledgling government at this point. So their forces are strained. They do not have as big of an empire as the Empire as far as their army is concerned. So we are stretched thin at this point. We have a war that's going on with Iron Blockade, with the Inuit sector, with Governor Adelhard, but then we also have Gallius Rax, who is there with Rand, who is there with Sloane, who are preparing a battle for Jakku. So we get that mention. The spies have told them that yes, the Battle of Jakku is imminent. It is going to happen near the final stand of the Empire. Leia and everybody else has confirmed, okay, all of our forces are going to shore up there. But what are they going to do with Adelhard? And that is where Luke Skywalker, Lando Calrissian, and a whole bunch of other freedom fighters, including Bylor Valance, get their little small ragtag fleet together, and they go ahead and they start to attack. But as that's going on, there's this huge climactic moment, and that includes with what is happening on the bridge of the Star Destroyer with Adelhard, and he gets double crossed, right? He is beset on all sides within his own ranks of the people that are more loyal to Rax, and that is where, you know, his lover, you know, exposes him as somebody that's not as important as he thinks he is. And she basically puts a hit on him by this Trandoshan and essentially sentences him to death and then gets a power grab. So we see later on in this issue that he is jettisoned in an escape pod with no kind of control, where they are just everybody aboard that escape pod, including Commander Bragg, is going to plummet to their death. And we see it. We see them just go down to this planet and just get destroyed. It was pretty brutal how they do that. But then it looks like there's a hand coming out of this thing. Is it Commander Bragg? We never really seen this guy's like face. Is he some kind of undead type of thing, like a zombie trooper? Who freaking knows? But it's kind of referenced that this could be something like, oh, we're rebuilding, almost like, oh, this is the remnants, this is the beginning of the First Order, or something to that order, or a new, completely new faction in Star Wars. There's a lot that could be going on here, but I did really enjoy how grand this issue felt, just like how the first miniseries ended with Insurgency Rising, with Luke Skywalker going against General Adelhard, which it's really neat to see how these issues are really capitalizing on this as an event and making it feel like it's big and impactful between all these ships flying around, these big meetings with these big government officials. We got the backdrop. We have 4 issues left. This is going to be over in about a month's time. We got 4 issues left going into The Last Stand or something like that. I forget what the next mini-series is, but that's going to be starting on Christmas Day. So for more on Star Wars, you're already in the right place. Make sure you go ahead and go hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified on all future Star Wars videos and more, because I did put out a DC video last week talking about Creature Commandos, so you may never know what I'm going to post about pop culture and more. That's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.